think I can do it. There we go. All right. All right. Let's see. Oh. Okay. Hi, Tara. Hold on, I'm typing something out right now. Okay. So if you guys want to give gifts of gratitude for a card, I'm putting that right now. On here. There you go. Colby, how are you doing, buddy? Oh my goodness. How are you doing? Let me try to... How do I pin this comment? You're hiding. Pato. Hold on, I'm trying to pin this comment. What the hell? I don't know how to do it on my devices. Ah, there we go. Oh my god, you guys, let me tell you something. All right. So there's been a lot going on with physical manifestations and a lot going on with fixing energy within, I would say, fixing communication, rewiring and things like that for my systems, such as my actual my computer, my laptop, my iPad that I'm using now, my phone. So let me give you an example, because I already knew I could do this, right? It's like a very, okay. The energy is crazy at this time, right? A lot of people are having crazy electronic issues, and that's because of solar flares and other things that are happening, right? So anyway, yesterday and today I had to really have patience and had to really kind of be like, all right, look, I had to clear my electronics over and over again. So yesterday I was like doing just a quick clearing, and it will just click. It'll start working again and things like that. But today I had to actually physically touch these things, where I usually just go like, okay, remove the energy, let it connect, done. No, I had to physically touch the freaking item and be like, grounding the energy, connecting, and then boom, it'll pop up. So I was just like, damn, man, like these energies are like no joke. They're really getting like intense. So if you're having problems with your electronics, I would recommend doing that, where you actually touch the freaking item and be like, all right, you're gonna work. All right, we're gonna work together. You're gonna work. So yeah. So anyway, let's see what Colby had to say about his surgery. Still recovering from surgery and figuring out what I can eat, but it's getting better. Yeah, J-Lo, right? Okay, let me tell you what I ate after I had my gallbladder removed. A lot of soup. I just drank a lot of liquids. I ate a lot of soup. I just didn't feel like, for some reason, like my body was telling me, don't eat something heavy because it's gonna hurt. Like it was telling me that, like, don't eat heavy stuff, like don't eat like meat, don't eat like something that's gonna take a while to digest, such as carbohydrates, things like that, like rice, breads, things like that. All I wanted was like broth, like chicken broth, vegetables, things like that for the first few weeks. I ate fruits, I ate vegetables, I ate chicken, lean meats and stuff. I ate that for sure. Like, but I was just like being guided, like stay off the meat for now until you are feeling more able to digest it, because it takes more energy out of you. Because what you're doing is your body is healing itself, right? So it's focusing its energy on healing, and then it has to focus its energy on digestion. So I was kind of led to, and intuitively I was kind of led to do that, to just eat like things that are not hard to digest for now. And then later on, go ahead and eat some meat, go ahead and do, go ahead and eat a cheeseburger, like things like that, okay? Colby, that's what you're doing too? That's funny. Yeah, it's definitely your body telling you, like, take it easy, take it easy, man, take it easy. Because that's exactly what I was told to do. I was like, oh, fuck. Oh, Tara says their phone screen was frozen earlier. That's funny. All right, so I have available, if you guys are interested in a card reading, you could just give me a gift of gratitude for one. We could do this after you get your reading, if you would like. So what I was gathering regarding this full moon, it's about changes. Even though it's in a fixed sign, right? Even though we are in a fixed sign energy, it's about allowing the flow of your own creator energy. When you think about Taurus energy, and this is something that I usually connect to, it's a fixed earth energy, right? But when you think about the earth realm, you think about you and the physical body, things that you can touch, right? Things that you can touch, things that are solid, things that are material, right? And then you also think about wealth, stability, and the long run, right? Like everything, like accumulation of wealth, goals, taking baby steps towards those goals too, because it's a slow and steady pace for Taurus energy. But this moon, you guys, this is different. To me, what I've noticed about this moon, and the different energy, because the new moon in Scorpio was like the same, like do this, do that, do this, do that. But I had zero sleep for that new moon in Scorpio. I didn't have that much sleep. This full moon, yeah, last night I went to sleep early. I was so exhausted. I was like 9 p.m. and that's rare for me because I usually go to sleep at like midnight or 1 a.m. So I was like knocked out at 9 p.m. and then I woke up. I woke up at 5 a.m. Well, my cat woke me up. My cat was like this in front of me, and I was just like, "What the fuck?" And he was just like, "What are you doing?" Like just staring. Like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Dude, I'm sleeping. What do you want?" Um, and then like, so he woke me up at 5, but then I went back to sleep, and then I didn't get up until like, I would say 7-ish, to check my phone. And then I was like, you know what? I'm going back to sleep again. Then I really just didn't just get up until like 9. Okay. That's when I finally got up and did my ceremony and, for the day and things like that. I was like, all right, all right. So I had good amount of sleep, and I was like, okay. And the dreams that came in, you guys, they were fucking like predictive, again, like they predicted like what's gonna happen, this and this and that or whatever. Today, for example, because I've been manifesting abundance, like my business has been going really well, and then helping people, assisting people and things like that, which I've been having a lot of clients throughout the day and stuff like that. So I like that. I'm doing stuff, and then of course I'm doing my schoolwork. I do my schoolwork too, and so it's like, doing all this research and stuff. And then today I was like, I got this notification, well, two notifications, one last night and then one today. I ignored it because I personally don't like to put myself in debt, right? I don't like, I only get credit cards because I need them, right? Like, I need to have them open because credit, right? You have to have it open, but you have to use it at least once. So I kept getting notifications from my PayPal account. Oh, you can apply for PayPal credit, and I'm like, fucking PayPal credit. What the fuck do I want this for? And it's because of how much the business has been accumulating, right? Like a lot of like purchases, things like that. And so they're like, you could apply for this. And I was like, oh, I don't really want a credit card. But then I was like, for some reason, I kept thinking in the back of my head, okay, so you have this much money in the bank. Do you really want to waste it all now for holiday gifts, right? And I was just like, oh, and then I had like my kid because she went to the ER, so I had to pay her hospital bills. So I had like two payments, like one already sent, the other one is coming up due, and so I was just thinking like, dude, you know what? Why not? Why not? Why don't I just why don't I just apply? And so I was thinking, if it happens, it happens, whatever. And then I applied, and as soon as they clicked that, you're approved, and this is the amount, and I'm like, holy shit! And I was like, that's pretty high. So I'm like, okay, that's fine. I'm gonna use this for emergencies from now on. I'm gonna use this for any hospital bills that needs to be paid right away, because that's what they do. They charge you the full amount right away, right? You can't do monthly payment unless you go into like some type of like like you talk to a social worker or something, and they can break it down based on your income and things like that. So anyway, I didn't do that because I thought that her medical insurance was gonna, cover it, and it didn't. So I was like, oh, fuck. So it doesn't cover radiology stuff. It doesn't cover the doctor's fees, right, for the ER, because that's different. It made me pay them $500 for fucking pay, and now I owe like $2,000 more. So I'm just like, fuck. And so I was like, okay. And then when I got that PayPal, and it says you can use this for all this stuff, and I'm like, oh shit, I'm gonna use you for a fucking hospital bill. Fuck yeah. So I was like, thanks. Like, because I was so stressed out. I was like, how am I gonna do this? All right, I'm gonna pay for the hospital bills and all this stuff, and then I have to get money for like for Christmas. So I was like, thank goodness, it's a Christmas miracle. So yeah, so I use PayPal. I think the hospitals don't care, like, as long as you're paying it, so I'm like, yeah, I'm using you for that. Okay, good. All right, so anyway, so that's what I've been seeing. It's like an accumulation of wealth, an accumulation of changes too, like changing perspectives, transcendence energy type of thing. And that's because we are being influenced beyond the solar system, meaning into the galactic center, and then from there in the galactic center into source energy, right, or creator energy. And so when you move into those spaces, when you finally realize that it's all within you, bringing it down, anchoring it in, using it, then bam, instant manifestation of things, right? Of you're covered, you're secure, you're the universe got your back, and things like that. So I'm just like, thank God, because it's like it gets kind of stressful sometimes. Like I don't really, I would say I don't really stress out about money, because I do have some, right? But I do not like to be below a certain amount on my account, because then I kind of panic, because I was just like, oh shit, what if I don't have money for emergencies, because hers was an emergency. And so I was just like, fuck, oh my God, like I gotta pay all this stuff. And then I'm like, fuck, what if she gets sick again? Like things like that. So my Piscean moon energy is like, but anyway, yeah. Let's see. Colby says, I'm waiting on my hospital bill to accumulate. Oh man. Did you talk to a social worker, since you said that you didn't, I think you mentioned that you didn't have health insurance? Because with me, with health insurance, that shit doesn't even work. Like, I'm not gonna lie. That shit wasn't even fucking, worth paying. Like, almost, I'm paying like $200, almost $300 a month for my daughter's health insurance. I get free insurance because the VA free. It's free for me, right? But she doesn't get that, right? So I have to pay for her own health insurance for herself, and she needs vision stuff, and then she's dental as well. So it's like almost $300 for that, and a month, and then just when I saw like that they didn't cover completely the ER, I was like, what the fuck am I paying you guys for then? You know, like what the hell? But yeah, that shit's fucking annoying. Um, so yeah, so it's definitely something crazy like that. So talk to someone, Colby. There are programs that you can research regarding hospital bills, like how to reduce them as well. But I would highly recommend to talk to a social worker regarding that too, because if you don't have, health insurance, then they need to help you out, you know. Let's see. Oh, and so anyway, the dreams are prophetic, you guys. So watch your dreams. So for me, for example, I was very like I was given information like last night. It was this is just for me, but it was kind of weird that it kind of coincided with what I already tapped into in this community. The name of the place that I live in is actually related to a location where I visited when I used to live in England, and I felt very in England, for example, that's one of my power points, meaning that my mediumship was super active in England, more than it's ever been anywhere else. Like holy shit, like visitors all the time. And it was funny because I was like, I already knew like, okay, boundaries, things like that, but it was just ridiculous, like nonstop visitors and nonstop activity. Like my when I met my hubby, we met in England, right? The first time we kissed, we had like a lightning bolt type of feeling, like we got like struck by lightning. Like he felt it, and I was like, whoa, like we both like kind of backed up, like what the hell. Like we felt it, like it just like all the way down to our feet, and we're like, what the fuck. That was so magical. I was just like looking, like we were looking at each other like, what the hell was that? And then that was the first time we kissed, and then we started dating. He started coming over to my house, and crazy shit was happening, and he was freaking out. He's like, why the fuck? Why the fuck is there always shit going on in your house? It was so funny. Like it was like honestly that house was on some really magical land, and then I live next to a river, and this river has a lot of history, and there's actually there was excavations going on around that time where they found more Saxon villages around that area too. And so there was a lot of those beings coming through, and I was like, what the fuck? Like there's fucking these barbarians or these Saxons walking in my house, And then so there's just a lot of shit. And then he was like enthralled in it too. He was seeing shit. He was like, what the fuck is going on? And he would sense things before it happened, and like he like predicting, and then poltergeist stuff, or it was pretty funny. I would just laugh because I thought it was hilarious when he would freak out. But anyway, it is just a lot of that. And then in my dream, it showed me back there again, and how the connection of like ley lines are, and how because it has city has the same name as the city that I visited out there, and the connection to Merlin, the magician or whatever, him in particular, because that's where he had his final resting days, in the Caledonian forest. This location is called Caledonia, and it is full of forested areas, and we're right next to the lake, to Lake Michigan. So we're about 2 blocks from the lake as well, so there's a lot of activity because of the lake too. So anyway, these dreams are just telling me all this stuff about the correlation with Merlin and how for some reason we chose this place because it's very similar to the energy that we were in England, where there is just a lot of activity, a lot of prosperity, a lot of abundance, and things like that. And so when we looked at our astrocartography, we saw like the location specifically in Jupiter, and then like his was like, I guess, in Neptune or something like that. And I was just like, holy fuck. Like, no wonder we're kind of like creating it together, you know. And so that's pretty cool. So you guys are gonna find that, and then when you think about Taurus energy, where you're family oriented, creating something that's long lasting, things like that, think about it in that way too. So if you're having images of you coexisting with someone else, family member, or even your lovers and things like that, creating a life together, creating abundance together, things like that. So it's prophetic dreams for that, just FYI. All right, so yeah, so that's pretty dope. Oh my god. And so anyway, yay, Joe Ra. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so let's see. Let's read, you guys. Let's read. Okay. Mag's like, we're gonna be millionaires soon. Oh, really? Clear Blue Jay, she says medical debt disappears after 7 years, supposedly. Oh shit. I don't want to deal with that though. Like, what if it doesn't? Colby says I get 24% off or something, and the huge group that I do readings for are doing auctions, raising money for me. Oh, that's beautiful. That's great, Colby. Let's see. Pato says all credit disappears after 7 years. Really? Like I said, I hate being in debt. So I don't know. I pay all my bills, guys. So Colby says, I'm so blessed right now. Yay. Okay, good. Yeah. Let's see. Pato says, you once took your ex to the ER for dehydration after he was hungover and pleaded with him that all he needed was water. They told him the same thing. I bet his medical bill was like that slap in the face to listen to you. Oh my god. I'm sorry, that's fucked up. Mara says, I mostly got nightmares these days. I very weird dreams. Oh, okay. Let's see. Colby says, I got sued by a hospital before. And sometimes they don't wait 7 years to let it go away. Oh my god. It's probably, you know what? It was probably the doctor, because the doctors have their own fees. Like, so that's why, you know, knowing the rates is important so that you could avoid the expensive ones and you could choose those stuff that's going to be at budget. You know what I mean? So first of all, radiologists fucking charge you separately. The doctors fucking charge you separately. The fucking ER fucking charges you separately, you know? And if you have insurance, then you have a copay as well. So it's just like, oh, like a lot of fucking just ridiculous amount of money that you're wasting on them and stuff. But anyway. Well, oh, LA, dude, get out of there. I swear to God, like all my family has left. Like they're all in Vegas. Like I would say 80% of them are in Vegas now. And then all of them don't live in LA anymore either. Like I think we have some people live in San Bernardino. We have some that live in Lake Arrowhead, and then we have some that live in what's that valley? I forgot what it's called. Simi Valley. So they're all gone from LA because they couldn't afford it either, and then they got better paying jobs in those areas too, and so they have a better lifestyle now. So, and it's like they even said it too, because they're sensitive too, like me, like because they're all fucking witches and healers and stuff. They said that they just felt so trapped there, like they just felt like something was constantly just gripping at them, or constantly like choking the life out of them. Like that's how they felt. And so they had to leave too, because they're really sensitive. And so they, when they left, they felt like, oh, like the whole weight of the world was off their shoulders and things like that. So yeah, that's gotta get out, gotta leave, because there's obviously something going on there with the land. It's just been so much drama there, you know, so much violence, and it does get to people who are sensitive, you know. So yeah. Clear Blue says everyone is leaving New York and Cali. Yeah, everybody is. Everybody's going out to the country. You know, everybody's getting more land for their, you know, more land for their buck, right? And you know, it just feels better, you know, away from all of that. Because what it is that as a receiver, or as a receptive energy person, like you guys are probably very sensitive to that too. If there's too many souls in a location that are disheartened, that are struggling with issues, depression, anxiety, mental health, you know, money, homelessness, things like that, it gets to you guys. Okay, it gets to you guys. It starts to wear on you guys, you know, and then you guys start to feel the symptoms of the same thing that they're all going through, right? And so it's like kind of like you guys are there, you know, you guys are there to clear the energy, but it's not your job to do that anymore, right? Initially you were there for that, but it's not necessary anymore. Everyone has to take responsibility for their energy. Everybody has to take responsibility for their healing now, okay? And so when you feel you're ready to leave that behind, and to just be like, you know what, I did what I had to do here, and that door is closed, and now I'm opening a new door where I take care of myself. I take responsibility for myself healing, and I help those who want to actually help themselves. That's when those doors are going to open wide open and give you opportunity for you to move out of there, okay? Because that's exactly what I did. Like, I was like, fuck this place. I was like, I'm done. Yeah, exactly. All right, so we got Avon. Let me see this. Sorry about that. So Avon, you want to see if your see what, okay, cards have to say about your new business Instagram, okay, or fitness Instagram. By the way, you guys, follow each other on Instagram, on social media, you know, like I think that's the best thing we all can do, is to support each other on social media, so that when we spread the word, right? Like we spread goodness and empowerment and things like that, we at least can have enough people to that resonate, and to see that stuff out there. Because like a lot of social media is based on that, on how many people you have that follow you and things like that. So it's important, okay? Let's see, Avon. Ooh, boy! Hey, look at you, look at that. So you got a double mission. So that's one of your missions. It's fitness, right? Taking care of the body, helping people take care of the body. Even with fitness, when you take care of your physical body, everything else starts to balance itself out too. So it's all about balancing the mental, the emotional, and the physical, right? And so everything, because everything has an effect on everything else. So for example, if you have poor diet, right? Poor diet, lack of exercise, that affects the brain. It affects it because there is no flow to the brain. There's a low flow of blood to the brain. That affects your thinking, that actually affects the frontal lobe, as well as it affects the way that you you know, do things, right? Calculations, communication, thinking processes. Some people get that because of their diet too, where they're foggy and they're like, well, you know, low energy, things like that. Or even you get anxiety because of your diet too, because if you're getting a lot of junk like sugars, like anything high in sugar, it starts to create like you're revved up, right? You're like, oh, hyper, and then it feels like anxiety for a lot of people, and so it does affect that. Okay, so diet and exercise is important. So I think you will be very well with teaching this, and then because it's a double mission, meaning that in the background, or actually it's not in the background, but it's like it's with this, is that you're teaching people how to do self-love, self-care, self-healing, right? Through exercise, through dieting, through like not dieting like you have to like starve yourself, but choosing the right nutrition, right, for the body. Like what do the muscles need to get gained, right? Like do you even lift? But you have to lift, but do you even use protein, right? Like things like that. So it's kind of like this is what you're here to serve. You know, you're here to serve humanity as someone who is here to help people physically heal. Okay, and that's beautiful, beautiful, Avon. So it's gonna be awesome for you. And then we have jump in. So trust. So this is Andromeda energy, by the way, because it's all rainbows. So anything rainbow, anything like that is Andromeda energy. So it's trust that the process is now. Trust that you need to jump in now. Trust that things are going to be very successful. It's a new adventure, a new lifestyle. Say yes to this change, you know, and things like that. So it's definitely going to be very beneficial for you and for whomever else that you're going to be working with. Okay, so as a healer, Avon, you are able to help people with healing themselves through you motivating them to work on themselves, to motivating them to have a plan for exercising, healthy eating, things like that. It's gonna be freaking awesome. All right, so that's what I have for you. All right, so let's see. We got Denise Cole next. So let's see. Aw, love you too, Denise. Aw, thank you. All right, Denise, do you have any questions for your reading? AO says, it's awesome how your readings always align with my astrological placements 100. Yay! Aw. I know, right? I'm like guessing, like, this is what I, like, I don't guess. It's just I get told, like, by your higher selves and your guides, like, oh, he has a sun in Leo, or he has, you know, things like that. And I was just like, okay, without even looking at your chart or without you even telling me your birthday or anything like that, I'm just like, oh, okay, that makes sense. That's pretty cool. Let's see. All right, Denise, let me know if you want something specific. Now I'm just gonna pull cards for you, okay? Let me see if I have. Is this the charger for this one? No, it's a different one. I think the charger for this is different. Let me look at the little bottom thing. Sorry, I'm like raising you guys up to creator. I apologize. All right, let me ask Allie. Hold on. I'm trying to look at the battery here. Alyssa. Allie. What? Can you bring me my charger that's right next to my my recliner? I have this charger that I leave there just in case, you know. But today, for some reason, I was really busy, of course, but I forgot to charge this. But anyway, let's see what we have for Denise. And then we're gonna do a card for JLo and a card for Mara, since you guys are here from the Starseed Club. Ooh, Denise. Let's see. Thank you, honey. She's wearing my old Air Force PT shirt. It's pretty funny because it used to be that size on me too. I'm like, you'd be so skinny. It's okay. I'm not sad about it. There's more to love. Hold on. Let me just turn this over. Oh, we're just going to do it like this then. The microphone needs to go over here now. This needs to be right here. If I can. Maybe if I can turn this over like this. And then use it like this. And I have somewhere to prop it on. Sorry, you guys. This is tech issues again. Okay. I don't want you guys getting blinded by the light. Let me see if I can unlock device. Okay, it's already unlocked. What are you talking about? Orientation is locked. Rotate device back. What? Will you guys stop it? All right, fine. Let's do it this way. Maybe I can. You know what? Let me just use this to prop it then. You guys are gonna be crummy. I'll just use this to prop this up. Okay, there, that works. All right, sorry about that. So we have deep cellular healing for you, Denise. Okay, so for this one, it's all about time away, taking breaks and things like that, whatever it is that you need to do to take care of the self. Okay, there might be some issues with aches and pains here and there, being uncomfortable a little bit in your body because the physical body is exhausted, because the mind is exhausted and the spirit is exhausted. You do a lot for a lot of people. You're always busy. You're a busy woman. Okay, you're a go-getter. You know, like the thing is that you need to take breaks in between. Okay, especially with this full moon in Taurus. When you think about Taurus, they're go-getters too, right? They work their asses off, but they do enjoy some naps and some time away. They do enjoy the luxuries of life. All right. So I would say gather that information from that Taurus. Maybe you have a Taurus placement that you can highlight, and maybe you can work with that, where you get a break in between, you know, like in between after you're done with work, you know, before you have to deal with home life, you know, take a break in between. Okay, so we have the great severing. So this is a conflict. This is Martian energy. So look at your Mars placements. Okay, look at what they're squaring at this time, because it feels like there's a lot of conflict. Maybe there's conflict of interest. That's what I keep picking up. Conflict of interest, you versus someone else. It could be possibly that you are the one seeing the bigger picture, but the other person doesn't see it. But ultimately, this whole conflict or this whole situation is teaching you to really address your own feelings regarding this person, really address your own feelings regarding work ethic. Okay, what's your work ethic? You have a high work ethic, and so if you feel that someone doesn't have the same work ethic, it kind of bothers you, right? And that's where the conflict begins, where your interests are conflicted with their own when it comes to that as well. Okay, but it is important for us to be mindful of how we react to these things. Or like, for example, I was straightforward with my coworkers that I knew were fucking lazy. I would straight out tell them like, yo, like, you're gonna have another day off? Damn, must be good to be you, right? And like straight out, like, that's how I was. Because it was true. Like, these guys were getting off daily and I had to take over their job, right?
where they were doing extracurricular activities. They were a part of the golfing team or the football team for the installation. Therefore, they have to have the time off in order for them to practice, right? And so it was like nonstop. Like they would sign up for every fucking sport you can think of. They would sign up for it just because they knew they could get off of work, and they knew that people will let them fucking get off of work. Oh hell no, I would fucking go off on them. I was the one I was in charge of 13 fucking people already. I was supervising 13 new people, and then I had to supervise their 13. So it was like two guys in particular. I had to supervise their 13 and then that guy's 13, right? So I was just like, dude, what the fuck? So finally I would tell him straight out, like, oh, are you gonna come into work today? You know, straight out, right? And then I would say it really loud, knowing that there are supervisors right there. So they would be like, huh, what's going on over here? But that's what it is. It's like we got to be mindful of how we talk about these things or what our displeasures are, because I felt like if I was direct with them that things would change, but it didn't. So I had to go and talk to their supervisors about how horrible this situation, right? So it was like eventually I was just burnt out, that I was like, I'm fucking done. Like, I'm gonna go talk to their supervisors. Maybe they can do something about it. And they did. And so I was just like, okay, there you go. So for you, Denise, I feel like this is what you have to do. It's like you probably already handled things at the lowest level, and now you have to go up a higher level for it. You know, it just feels like there's just so much going on, that you're overly exhausted with the emotional, the mental, and the physical of all of that. Okay. And then we have, then he says him, that may be with the girl that works for me that I've tried really hard not to have to fire. Oh, oh, hun. If she is, and I hate to say this because, you know, I know you have a good heart and I know you give people so many chances. And that's the reason why you're in this situation to begin with, right? Or you give them so many chances and they take advantage over and over and over and over, and they never change. And so that being said, it's just going to have to be one of those things where you're just going to have to sit down with them and just be like, here, like, this is what we used to do as supervisors. We had evaluations to give our troops, right? So we'll type out what we expect of them, right? Our expectations. So as soon as I got a new troop, I would sit them down and be like, these are your expectations. You're expected to do your job. You're expected to come here on time. You're expected to go above and beyond when you're off, on your days off. You like going to college, volunteer work, things like that, so that you can have a good grade for the end of the year, right? And you expect your uniform to look good. You're expected to not be a belligerent drunk, you know, things like that. So you could do that. You could sit her down and these are your expectations when you're working for me, okay? And she needs to communicate with you if she has problems, right? Like if she's going to be late, she needs to communicate that with you and things like that. And so if you want, you got to sit down with her and let her know straight out, this is what I'm expecting of you, and if you cannot meet these standards or these expectations, I'm sorry, I'm going to have to let you go. You know, that's what it's going to have to be, right? So the next one is cracked open. So this one is kind of like hitting rock bottom, right? Or you feeling like you're hitting rock bottom with your health, with your mental, with your emotional, things like that. You feel like something's got to give, right? Something has to give. And so it's kind of like they're saying, surrender to your needs, surrender to them, right? Allow yourself to be taken care of, allow yourself to find balance, you know, by self-care and things like that and whatnot. So I don't know if I think I've been harping on you for going on vacation for a while. So I don't know if you went on vacation yet, but please go on a vacation. Denise, please go on a vacation. All right. It'll help you. It really will. Okay. Let's see. What does it say? Yeah, my boss really wants me to fire her. She is just not getting it. Simple day-to-day common sense things. Girl, I do that with her daily. She is a single mom and it's the holidays. Trying to help her get it. Oh, okay. Yeah, I understand. But sometimes that's what it is. It's like sometimes they're going to have to they're gonna have to feel that pressure, right? Like that pressure cooker going off and things like that. And so I feel like you will be able to do that. You're just gonna be like, you know what? Straight out, I'm gonna tell you straight out, you are on thin ice. Okay? On thin ice. And this is not coming from me. I'm just telling you so that you can change this shit, right? So it just feels like there's just it's something's gonna give, girl. Something's gonna give. Right? Let's see, I get told once a week to go on vacation. You know what, Denise? And this is just your guide. Go on vacation, girl, because then you don't have to fire this girl. Because someone else is gonna fire her. If you go on vacation, someone else is gonna take care of that. Oh my god, girl. All right. So so that's what I have for you, Denise. And then we have Miss Ashley. Let's see. Oh, sorry, Miss Tara first. Whatever needs to be heard, and then Miss Ashley would love to hear what needs to be come through. Okay, for sure, you guys. All right. Sorry, I was like, I have my phone over here on this side. Like, your guides are saying, if you go on vacation, this is gonna be taken care of. This is gonna be taken care of for you, girl. Like, don't worry about it. All right, let's see. Let's see for Tara. Let's see what we got. You're welcome, Denise. Love you so much. Let's see what we got for Tara. Okay. Ooh, girl. Ooh, girl. Tara. Tara, it's time for you to create the life that you want. All right, so, oh my God, you guys, and I'm so sorry about that light. Okay, here we go. So, Tara, we got breath of the cosmos. That's you floating in the galactic center. So, this is all about your will aligning with the divine will, right? Your will be done. Divine will be done. You know, making sure that you understand how that's going to turn out and making sure that it's going to be very uncomfortable to begin with, right? Everything that is worthwhile is uncomfortable, right? Because we're not used to receiving these beautiful gifts that we so deserve for all the hard work that we're doing. And for you, my love, it feels like that. It feels like there's something coming in, some great changes happening in your environment. I feel like it has a lot to do with work, but I also feel like it has to do with your family being a part of those changes, where manifestation is going to be instant for that. And then I feel also that because you're aligning with the galactic center, meaning that the portal going into creator realm, you're pulling in your creator energy finally, right? And you're manifesting this reality. Again, it's going to be uncomfortable because you're so used to just in so many ways playing small, right? And so you're going to have the opportunity to share your light with the world, share your gifts with the world, share your true leadership skills with the world. Okay. The next one that I got is activated earth. So going to your PowerPoint. So like I said, England is one of my PowerPoints. So where do you feel very powerful? Where do you feel like you have a lot of activity, right? Where do you feel like really connected, or you can see clearly, you can feel clearly, you can get a lot of downloads, a lot of information, a lot of activity, right? That location is your PowerPoint. So I would say at least once a week, if you have the time, go to that location. If it's not a physical location, then go through it in meditation, right? Go to that location. It does feel like this is very important for you because that is where you have a lot of your wisdom, information from past lifetimes, and then it actually helps you clear your energetic space. So it replenishes you, it purifies you, it clears the day away. Anything that you accumulated over the day or the week, it clears it away. You're completely, boom, purified again. And when you are at that purified state, that's when creator energy, you allow creator energy to assist you in creating and manifesting what you desire. Okay. Trust me, it's quick. So I feel like this is going to go quickly if you allow yourself to. Okay. If you finally open yourself up to, okay, I am deserving of a leadership role. I am deserving of being the boss. I am deserving of, all this stuff, because you already work your ass off to begin with, right? So you are deserving of the wealth that comes with it, of the, everything that comes with it, okay? So that's what I have for you, Tara. Let's see. It's the, oh, okay. You have no idea? Let's see. The beach, yeah. I felt water energy. Like water energy is very powerful for you. Yes, water energy. Manifestation with water. Ooh, you know what you can use too for manifestation? Moon water. So next, oh shit, we're going into caps. Like after Sag, we're going to cap season, right? So I feel like cap season is going to be very beneficial for you. So the cap new moon, put a jug of water out during the new moon phase, and just do your new moon rituals where you ask for what you want, okay, and put that jug of water out there. So that's where your moon water, is created and stuff like that. And then from there, drink from that moon water every day until the full moon in Cancer. And then that's when you release things, right? The full moon is when you banish and release things. You make room for these things that you already asked for. And I think you'll see a big difference. All right. So that's what I have for you. Okay, let's see. Oops. Let me see. Sorry about that. Check. Okay, you guys. And that, Miss Ashley, whatever you think you need. Okay, Miss Ashley, let's see. I'm like trying to see the words and stuff. Okay. You're welcome, Tara. So I want to tell you guys that it does work a lot for people who work with moon energy, with moon water. It works instantaneously. My daughter, for example, she wanted to put a jug of water out this past new moon in Scorpio because she's a Scorpio rising. And I believe she has Scorpio and Venus, I believe. I have to look up her chart again. She has a lot of Scorpio placements. Anyway, as soon as she did that, the next day, whatever it was that she asked for, she was like, Mom, oh my God, Mom. She was so excited. It was so funny. All right, so we got Ashley's next. Ashley. Ooh, messages. Ooh, that was quick, Ashley. Ooh, let's see what else we got for you. Ooh, nice. Talking about water, you guys. All right, so Ashley, here we go. We got Hareth. So this is about like feeling like you might be wanting to move, feeling like you want a place to call home, like feeling like the environment that you might be in, that it doesn't feel like home, right? So longing for home and longing for the stars, feeling homesick. So it might feel like you might be thinking that you don't belong somewhere. You might be perceiving that with your relationships with other people as well. Maybe that your perception of the world is very different from the perception of others, right? It could be that because you're in the spiritual path, that's how it feels, honestly. When I would say at first, when people start their spiritual journey, they might feel isolated. They might feel like they don't belong.
because they're perceiving the world through a different lens, right? And so again, that's a little bit temporary because you're starting off, right? You're starting to feel that pull away from certain people in your life, and that's a normal thing because again, there used to be parallel journeys, right? You guys were parallel, and now they're veering off somewhere else, and you're veering off somewhere else. There's nothing wrong with this because you both are growing apart. You're both on a different journey. I would say it's going to be uncomfortable. It's going to feel like you're missing them, or it's going to feel like you are losing them, right? But it's not that you're losing them. It's just that you're going to meet them later on their journey, right? It's just a temporary thing, right? In the higher realms, you guys are always together. Remember that in the higher realms, we are all merged. We're all a group consciousness merged together. When you think about creator and creator, how that energy is, it's in everybody, right? We're all merged. Okay, so we're never alone. We're never separate from one another. We're all one. Okay, and we got to remember that. So if you're feeling sad, or if you're feeling like I don't belong, remember that. Okay, remember you are not alone. You do belong. We are all one. Okay. Another thing about the homesickness is exploring the reasoning behind it as well, right? So it might just be that because you're starting off your journey, you might feel isolated, might feel like, oh, I'm looking at the world differently. I don't think they understand me. But you shouldn't think that way, because you might not know what they're thinking unless you ask, right? So that's how I used to think as well when I was a kid, because I saw my mom as separate from me, because my mom was on a different journey, on a different path than me, and then the rest of our family, to be honest, because my family was healers, and they were, into herbology and healing medicine and stuff like that, and making, tinctures and stuff like that for me in particular, because I had like really bad earaches and tonsil issues when I was a kid, and they believed in that. They did limpias on me, and they did all that stuff or whatever. And my mom's the only one out of her siblings that used to go to church and was like, oh, that's brujeria, all this stuff, right? And so in my head, I felt like I was separate from her. I felt like she didn't understand me, because I felt like my grandmother and my great aunt understood me way more, and then my other aunts did too, because they would teach me things, and they would listen to my things, that like my dreams or my visitations that I had and things like that, and they would listen to me and they'll give me advice. But I couldn't tell that to my mom, right? So I felt like, oh my God, she doesn't love me, or she thinks I'm weird, or this was all in my head, right? Until I finally asked the question, Mom, why don't you believe in the stuff that we believe in? And she didn't want to answer at first, because she's just like, I don't want to talk to you about whatever, and I was just like, all right. So I gave her time. She was on a different journey. I was on a different journey. Then we met back when I was an adult. And now we have a great relationship, right? Because I finally figured out why she was the way that she was, or why she didn't want to understand me at the time. She was in fear. She was afraid, because her experiences before that, where she lived with healers, all her life. And she lived with an uncle and an aunt who actually miraculously healed her from the measles. And because of the channeling that she witnessed, where her uncle would channel an angel, and his voice would completely transform, and like she said, that he would transform, like his physical body looked like it was not him anymore, it was this creature thing or whatever. She would freak out, right? Because she didn't understand, right? As a kid, she's like, what the fuck's going on, right? So anyway, I found that out, and she finally told me, and then she never took it seriously either, because nobody wanted to teach her either. So she never took it seriously, and blah, 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 right? So then she went to church instead. She went to something that she thought was safe, because everybody else in the neighborhood was going to church, or things like that. And they would say things about her uncle and her aunt, that they're brujos and brujas, and they made it seem like it's an evil thing, and all this stuff, right? So maybe that's what it is, and maybe you don't understand, you don't have that communication yet, right? They haven't revealed that to you yet, like their own experiences with the other realm, with the spirit realm, with the stars beings and things like that. And so I would say give it time, because again, these relationships can be repaired as long as communication happens, right? And just give each other time for that. Okay, so that's what I have for you for that one. And then we have whale song, or orca elders. Okay, so this is about your song, your communication, allowing yourself to communicate, allowing yourself to say what you need to say is important, but also the way that you communicate coming from the heart, right? I think sound, tone, frequency is really important for you for healing purposes. Maybe expression, self-expression through music, through tone, through sounds, through playing an instrument will be very beneficial for you, so that you don't feel the melancholy anymore. So you don't feel, I'm longing for a place to call home, a place that I used to know, things like that. So I would say channeling, that's a way to do it, through music, where you'll be able to perceive your guides easily, you'll be able to feel them around you easily, and then you won't feel lonely again. Okay, so that's what I have for you, Ashley. Yes, go ahead and do that, Tara. You're welcome, Ashley. All right, let's see what we got. Yes, House of Judea, definitely love you. Yes, you do. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull a card for Mara and then for JLo. So Mara and JLo, if you guys are still here, I'm gonna go ahead and pull your cards. Let me just, sorry, I have like to charge this iPad at the same time. So I'm sorry about the light. I'm gonna move that a little bit in a little bit. So Mara, let's see, we got how? We got the hawk god, Horus. So we have Star Brothers, energy of the masculine, the sun energy, raw energy, right? Horus energy. Mara. your guides are like, Mara, have you forgotten about us? they're like, we're always with you, masculine energy. It is very, very easy for you to identify with masculine energy, and it's because of your guides. There are a shit ton of them. There's a lot of male guides around you, and then Horus energy, the sun energy, solar energy. So working with solar energy is going to be super, super important. And your dog's name is Horus? No way. Yeah, that's so cool. Oh my god. But yeah, so they're saying there are different aspects of the divine masculine, right? It's not just all action, it's not just all logic, it's not just all go go go, right? There is a very beautiful aspect that comes from creator energy, where they're co-creating with the divine feminine, right? And so they're saying they're the seed, right? They're the seed, and the divine feminine is the earth to which the seed grows in. So being the seed, being the initial thought, that's what they represent. The initial thought, the initial information being disseminated, being planted into the earth, into the brain, into the mind, right? So working with the mind, the thoughts that you have, the ideas, those are masculine attributes too, right? When you think about mental body, you think about air quality, right? Air signs, Gemini, Aquarius, Libra, those are masculine energies too. And then when you think about hawks, they fly, and that's a masculine energy too. So birds, in the sky, in the air, and things like that, very masculine. But when you think about birds in the sense that you have them that sing, and they have very feminine attributes as well. So it's kind of like they have both. So what they're saying is kind of like, don't forget about us. We have more to share with you. We have different aspects of our masculinity to share with you. We have different aspects that are co-creator aspects to share with you, and they keep pointing back at your mental body, working with the mental body, the initial thought, the initial seed of creation, right? Thinking it into your reality and manifesting. It's kind of very important. So when you evaluate things, don't over evaluate it. They said, when you are thinking of a subject, think of the subject. Yes, think of it logically, but also use the feminine to think of it creatively, meaning drawing, music, things like that, right? Attributes of creative energy of the feminine. So merging those two hemispheres, the left and the right hemisphere, are really important for you to manifest with. Okay, so the masculine and the feminine. I think it's very I think you do it in steps, but they're saying merging is better, as you just grab all the energy and and use all of it all together, right? So using the four elements, because there's two feminine and two masculine elements. Air and fire are masculine, earth and water are feminine. Using all four of those, because those are the structures of life, will be beneficial for you too. So it definitely needs to be a part of this journey, right? So having physical objects that represents those four elements to help you balance the masculine and feminine will be important for the work as well. So having like a candle that represents fire, a water container, water little jar with water that represents water, having a leaf or even a feather that represents air, having a gemstone that represents earth, things like that, having it before you meditate, so that you have a physical object that the mental body can relate to, that knows these represent these elements, and these are the elements that I'm working with to manifest, to meditate, do all that stuff, right? Do my work. Okay. So I think that's what they want you to do, so that the mental body can be stronger, so that it can trust that these things are actually there and they're actually happening. Okay. So that's what I have for you, Mara. And let's see. Okay. Oh, yeah. Yay! So yeah, keep using that. Like, I call on the energy of fire. I call on the energy of water. I call on the energy of earth. I call on the energy of air. Please assist me with my work. Please help me balance my masculine and feminine. Things like that, okay? And the more that you do it, the more that you practice it, the more that you're going to feel it, that it's actually going to transform everything around you, okay? So let's see with J-Lo. Let's pull a card for you, okay? Pull a card for J-Lo. 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 All right. Oh, nice. We got perspective. And look how it's the full moon. Oh, actually, it's actually Earth. I thought it was the full moon, but it's Earth. So you're at the full moon right now. You're at the moon and you're looking at the Earth. So zooming out, right? So looking at the bigger picture, right? So whenever you have a situation in your life where that needs evaluation, especially if it's something that has been really stressful, it is important for you to look at the bigger picture. Like, okay, this person is obviously needing some assistance. They came to me for it, but I don't know how to help them at this time.
I think it's better for them to help themselves on their journey. And then also finding common ground, finding understanding between people, right? So if there's turbulence in a relationship, maybe it's not even, I don't think it's someone that you know personally. I think it's might be future relationship, right? Um, so if that happens, understand what the highest good of both of you is. Like, what is our highest good? And try to emulate that. Try to be open about that, right? To bringing it in. So the none, like, kind of like understanding that none of the things that happen, like none of the drama that happens with other people, or even in the future, none of that really matters. Ultimately is the highest good or the highest will of creator that matters, right? And which is something that you're walking the path on. So like I said, this is not someone, they're kind of like, this is like a future person. Someone you don't know yet. So if there's drama in that future relationship, then always go back to the higher perspective, the bigger picture, right? And help them to see it as well, okay? Because like I said, I think I gave you that reading earlier about like someone coming in that's kind of not be on the spiritual path like you. They're going to be totally engulfed in the material world, and they'll be supportive of your work, but there might be a little bit of squabbles here and there, things like that. But anyway, when those things happen, when you're like, what the hell? Like, this dude, first he says this and now he says that, right? Like, then just know the bigger picture is that he needs some assistance in trying to figure things out, because some things are very difficult for people to perceive at that current state in their life, because they haven't been exposed to it, right? And so it's kind of difficult for them to perceive it at that time, because it's like, okay, this is not something I'm used to. And so that's what you guys are saying. Just be ready for that. Be ready to teach, be ready to teach this person that, okay, there's different points of view. This is my point of view. That's your point of view. I respect it, but you got to respect me too, right? So yeah, so that's what they're saying. It's like there's a bigger picture coming up. There is someone coming in that's going to need that, okay? All right. Okay. Let's see. Oh, sorry, you guys. Kind of peaceful here. Right now it is. I'm just kidding. Trust me, there's stages that these people that we end up with go through because of us. Like, we are growing with them, right? We grow along with them, and sometimes they'll try to revert back. They'll try to revert back. Let them revert back, but also remind them, hey, you've done so much work already. Let's not go backwards. Let's go forward. All right. So that's what I have. Let's look at this one more time and see. Okay. All right, you guys. I think that's all I have. Oops. Let me see if I can see it. All right. Let's see. All right, you guys. So that's all I have for tonight. Thank you guys for being here. Am I like not on, what is this? Oh, okay. I was like, what the hell? Okay. So on the live over here, it says that it's like only 3 people. But on the live here, it says there's 10 people watching. It's so weird. Oh, you're welcome, Tara.
let me see. Hold on. Yeah, right? That's so weird. And this one, it says there's only like 3. That's so fucking strange. Hold on, let me see. I'm telling you, the technology. Technology, I swear. It's not a... Show all. That's weird. You're welcome, JLo. Yeah, right? And now it says 12 on here, but it says 3 on here. That's creepy. Oh, how's the Judea? Did you send in a PayPal? I think it's just, I honestly think it's my phone. Sorry. Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. Let me see. Let me check PayPal again. I think it's my phone that's acting weird. Like I said, I had to like hold it and just be like, fix yourself. Fix yourself before I wreck you. Oh my god, dude. Yeah, I know. That's why I'm like looking at that and I'm looking over here. Hold on, let me see. Aw, thank you, Maggie. That's so freaking weird. Okay, now it goes up to 13. That phone. Oh, did I was asking if you sent a PayPal or something, because like I said, my phone was kind of acting weird. Because I know you asked if it was okay. So let me just check real quick again. Ah, that's okay. I'll give you a card right now. House of Judea, I'll give you a card right now. Let me just shuffle. So this partial eclipse is the reason why you guys are going to have like prophetic dreams, a lot of activity, a lot of changes, okay? Again, there is a lot going on in the sky that we need to look into, that we need to be aware of, and we need to work with. Okay, so here we go. Empathic starseed. So this is you going into a mirror, which mirrors represents a different dimension, right? Going into traveling to different dimension, like the astral. That's you, girl. That's you, Pisces. You're Pisces. Woo, let's go wander around. So energetic sovereignty is important here, okay? So whenever you go into different dimensions, whenever you go into different spiritual realities, or when you meet people on the spiritual path, it's important for you to have your sovereignty, okay? It's important for you to understand your truth may be very different from their truth, right? It is very important for you to even speak on it, because there might be people around you that might be saying, that doesn't make sense because I was taught like this, right? And you could just be like, respectfully, this is what I'm perceiving, because this is how my energy works, my intuition works, right? I think it's very important for all of us to understand that everyone's intuition is very different. Everyone's perceptions are very different. It's based on their soul's journey, right? Oh, thanks, Judea. So this is your reading right now. And so that being said, the same thing applies whenever you meet people, right? That you might think that they're for some reason further along on their journey than you are, which is a big negative. Okay, everyone is basically on the same path. We're basically, all of us are learning, you know, we're all learning still. If we've mastered this, we've probably ascended, right? Like by now, right? If we've mastered something, we're probably ascended by now. But honestly, we're all on the same like level, I would say. Okay, even if there's people who meditate for 20 years, it doesn't mean that they know everything. Okay, it's very individual. It's a very individual journey, and that's what your guides want you to know. Is for you, House of Judea, don't let anyone tell you that you're wrong regarding the information that you receive, your messages that you receive from Creator. Okay, the same thing could be applied with spiritual knowledge. Everything we read comes from that person, from that person's own perspective and own filter, own channeling, right? This is just how it is, right? It's all individual. So the perception of Creator, like for example, the one that I have, the perception of Creator being all oneness, right? My experience is very different from somebody else's all oneness experience, right? My experience is very different from somebody else's, what the Galactic Center represents for them, right? What does the moon represent for you? What does the sun represent for you? Things like that, right? We were told these things, right? We were told in astrology, the sun represents this, the moon represents this, the earth represents this, Venus represents that, right? But we were told that by someone else. And that someone who wrote it, that was their perspective, that was their channeling, right? Because remember, there's different cultures that believe different things represent different things. Like with the Aztecs, they didn't believe that the moon was only feminine. They believed that there's multiple entities or beings in charge of the moon. The same thing with the sun, the same thing with the earth, multiple goddesses and gods in charge of the earth, you know, things or entities or beings or energies. Basically is energy, right? And so that being said, for you, it's about trusting your intuition, okay? And not letting someone bombard you with the negatives of like, you're wrong. That's not how you read that. That energy doesn't represent that, okay? Sovereignty, being sovereign, okay? Very important, okay? House of Judea, so that's what I have for you. All right, so that's all I have, you guys. All I have. It was funny because I always equate my rebellious streak or my questioning everything. It always comes back to when I was a kid, right? When I was restricted, you know, when my perception was questioned or whatever, and I'm just like, no. Now that I'm an adult, I'm like, no, this works for me. It can change tomorrow, but for now it works for me, right? Because that's what it is. Energy always continuously flows and changes. Infinite, right? And therefore we are infinite because we're made out of energy, and therefore we change with the knowledge that we receive, with the wisdom we receive, right? And so it is important for us to have sovereignty in that fact, that even though we might have believed something some time ago, we might have accumulated more knowledge about that, and it might have not rung true anymore, so we changed our mind, and there's nothing wrong with that, okay? It's all about growth, evolution. All right, you guys. Thank you. Mag says that for her, the sun is the whole computer in the light codes. We definitely are experiencing things differently. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. All right, so that's all I have, you guys. Happy full moon in Taurus. Do your full moon banishing or removal or releasing rituals tonight, okay?
remember, when you write these things down, it's as if it already happened. Okay, so anything that you have barriers, like you think that you have barriers set up for, like maybe there's a barrier between you and someone, right? Or maybe there's a barrier between you and your wealth, or accumulation of wealth, or accumulation of happiness, whatever it is. Ask for it as if it already happened, so it's like you're in gratitude. Thank you so much, Creator, for removing the barriers between me and fill in the blank. I am so grateful for this journey. I'm so grateful for these lessons that I've learned, as they help me grow and help me become more empowered. And I release this now onto you, things like that. Okay, so just a tip. All right. Okay, so have a wonderful rest of your night. Love you guys. Bye bye.